Hello, and thank you for watching this short video regarding constructing meaning implementation in San Jose Unified during the school year of 2020-2021. The purpose of this video is just for us to share some of the best practices, talk about our successes, and what we've learned. So as far as our shifts for this year, like many other school districts, of course, all of our professional learning did move into the online platform in both synchronous and asynchronous forms to support that collaborative nature and the interactive nature that really is such an anchor of the STEAM trainings. We also provided virtual instructional coaching for our teachers. And with that, one thing that actually stayed the same, but I did want to highlight this because I think it's a very effective practice, is that all of our teachers who are clearing their credential through our district, through induction, they all complete the Constructed Meaning course by the end of their second year of induction. So that's been a continued practice. It's a wonderful way to capture folks as they enter into the organization, to be certain everyone coming in then gets this wonderful training, has the same knowledge base, and also provides us a common framework and platform in which to talk about how to best support our students, specifically the language needs of our students as well. So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to watch a few video samples of some of our teachers who took the course, and these are some of the assignments they were asked to submit in a video format, just so it was a bit more interactive. And specifically, we're going to highlight some of our electives teachers because often they're not as maybe represented sometimes in professional development. So these are the three guiding questions for one of the assignments that teachers were asked to reflect on and think about. And then they were asked to submit a video. So the first question is, what role does language instruction play with content knowledge? The second is, what did you implement that you learned in one of our constructing meaning sessions? And then probably most importantly, how did what you implement impact student learning? So we're going to start by hearing from one of our elective teachers who teaches band and music, responding to these questions here.
Hi, this is Kelly Fabian, and this video is for Constructing Meaning, Day 2. So language plays a really important role in content instruction for students. One of the most important things is it helps increase retention of content knowledge, because when students practice speaking or writing using the content knowledge, either sharing it with the teacher or writing it down or sharing with peers, they increase their experience working with the knowledge. It allows the students to interact with and explore the content a little bit deeper than just being told things. And it can also improve communication in small groups, especially with breakout rooms. That's something that we want to improve. It helps scaffold the use of academic language, especially if you plan to use sentence frames. And it allows students to practice skills and aim towards mastery in content instruction. Some of the useful strategies that I've tried in the last couple of weeks from Constructing Meaning is creating an objective that has a language goal, especially in my subject, which is band or music. Sometimes that is something that can fall to the wayside. So including a language goal of either written or speaking out loud or responding to a prompt is really helpful. I also really like the concept of planning with productive struggle in mind. This kind of helps prevent that learned helplessness and encourages students, letting them know that they can do it. It's going to be a challenge, but they'll get a lot out of it. So this is something I'm still working on. It's a tough thing as a teacher, but I think it's a really important concept. Creating sentence frames for students. This is something I'm new at, and I'm kind of seeing what works and what doesn't. But this has been really helpful for getting students to interact because it kind of gives them a baseline. It prevents some of the I don't know what to say. It helps provide more opportunities to interact with the content knowledge. I've been using like the WebEx chat box, having students private message me a sentence frame, and also Pear Deck and Canvas text responses to simple questions for some simple checks for understanding. And I've also been trying to use breakout rooms for small group work interactions for the We Do section of the framework. Some ways that these strategies have impacted my student learning. It's more chances for students to practice with the content, and this is so important for distance learning because it's harder and harder to see what our students are actually doing and the progress they're making. It's more of student-driven learning. Instead of you giving the answer, it's letting them practice. I also found that all students benefit, not just the ELL students, especially with sentence frames. It's more support and scaffolding for moving into individual learning, and it's more time to work with individuals and small groups for the teacher when it's more of student-driven learning. So those are some of the experiences that I have had. So thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving week.
All right, so now we're going to hear from one of our high school dance teachers and her experiences.
Hello. In dance, we are mostly moving throughout the whole entire class period. Students, however, have vocabulary that they have to remember for movements that they are learning, history that they need to understand for the several dance styles that we go through, and they need to be able to have academic conversations or give academic content reviews of performances that they have watched either through their peers or meeting, especially in breakout rooms. They hate talking in breakout rooms unless it's about fun stuff with their friends. So first of all, I've been implementing lines of communication. I've been using the breakout room random mode, so it selects random partners for them to be with. It's usually 2, maybe 3 people in a breakout room, and I would give them specific instructions on a section of their dance to talk about and review with one another, ask questions, talk through the movements, and they have about 3 minutes to do that for different sections before they come back, get another section, and have to talk about it with another group of kids. So they get to move around and talk to a bunch of different people, having conversations about the content that we are using right now. I have also been using a form of agree, disagree, but it's kind of a dance-involved kind of way. Students are either watching a peer performance, so they're working on hip-hop right now. They'll either watch someone perform hip-hop, or they'll watch a professional performance with a video that I've provided them, and then they give feedback. Instead of agree, disagree, they would use positive feedback, and something that the person can improve on. So they're still using that academic content to give feedback to another student or about a professional performance, but it is in a little bit more dancing kind of way, giving feedback, talking about the actual content of the dance, so they get to use that language. Students have been able to talk more than they usually do in a physical exercising class, and that's awesome. They get to talk about those words and what they're learning. Kids are becoming more comfortable in front of their peers, talking online. They're also able to have better comprehension of the movements that I ask them to do. So usually if I say something like, we're going to do pirouettes, they look at me for a second like, what? But now when I say that, because they've been having these conversations, they know that a pirouette is a turn on one foot. They can kind of connect that a little bit faster, which is a cool thing.
So in addition to what we just heard from our 2 teachers, this is also something that really surfaced as a continual thread throughout our trainings this year. Of course, the whole idea of productive struggle is so critical within constructing meaning, and teachers really have a very positive reaction to the concept as we work through with it. Something that really did surface for us is, how do we continue to ensure that productive struggle without the pitfall perhaps of over-scaffolding? And so having this as a guiding question really helped us to re-anchor ourselves in the backward design and so many aspects of the constructing meaning framework. So those have been our greatest successes this year, of course, all leading to a positive impact on our students. Thank you for taking the time to watch our short video about constructing meaning within San Jose Unified School District during the year of 2020-2021.